Today we're visiting a small town called Hornitos. It's in the Southern Motherlode region on the west end of the Motherlode vein. And we're going to visit some notable buildings in this town. This town was founded by Mexican gold miners in the 1850s. At one time it was called Quartzburg. So let's go check out some sites here. Right now we're by the post office. This is actually center town right here. There's a small little post office right here. Right there's a post office. Old buildings going back to the 1800s. There's a park over there. There's a little bit of a saloon right there. And okay, let's go check out our first notable building and talk about it a little bit. So right now, let's start off with the most important building in Hornitos would be the church where people gathered. This is St. Catherine's Catholic Church. It was established in 1860. Let's take a little walk through the cemetery. Hornitos was established in the 1840s when the town's fathers of Quartzburg, located just 6 miles away, concerned over their community's image, banished the riffraff. People like gamblers, drinkers, and troublemakers in the area were banished several miles away to a place called Burns Creek. But as luck would have it, they quickly found gold in Burns Creek next to their banished location and named the encampment Hornitos after rock piles found all over the area. In Spanish, Hornitos means little ovens. There were many theories of what they actually meant by these little rock piles. Some Mexican families would actually do their cooking in hand-built ovens outside their homes called cooking hornos. Some miners buried their dead above the ground because it was way too rocky, so they buried them under rock piles and stuff such as that. Some thought it was a smelting thing. By 1860, the town's population had swelled to 15,000 people. So as I was saying, the Mexicans founded this, they were mining here prior to the United States taking over this territory. And then the Anglos came in, and what happened was the Mexicans and a lot of other foreign miners who were here were kicked out. They basically went to lesser, richer grounds, and the Anglos took out, the rich areas, and they placer mined, they hard rock mined. One of the notable mines of this here is called the Mount Gaines mine. But we start off at the church because this is where people gathered. If these rocks and tombstones and the church could talk, you could just imagine the history. What I've read is this like many mining camps. There was a lot of crime here, vigilantism. Even Joaquin Murrieta was known to hide out over here. Famous Mexican outlaw, famous, infamous hero to some others. Just depends the way you look at it, right? But he walked these grounds, and it just amazes me, the history. If you're interested in history and the gold rush, such as I am, visiting these places is just, it's pretty cool, actually. So the name Hornitos in Spanish means little ovens. The little ovens could be due to how they built these ovens where they smelted ore. There's St. Catherine's Catholic Church from the side. And you can see the surrounding area is just, Sierra foothills. There isn't many big trees here. One famous fellow a lot of people heard was the famous chocolatier Ghirardelli, who was an Italian immigrant to Uruguay. And after he left Uruguay, he came into Hornitos, and he bought a building, and he opened up a supply house. While he was selling his shovels and picks and pans and goods and services, food staples and such things like that, he had a real interest in chocolates. So in this building here, he would, in the back, when he had some time, he would perfect the recipe for his chocolate. And after 2-3 years, he sold the building and he moved to San Francisco, and where he established the Ghirardelli Chocolate Company. So Hornitos isn't just known for gold, it's also known for Mr. Ghirardelli and his wife, who for a while ran a supply house, trading supply place for about 2-3 years. All right, let's say farewell to St. Catherine's Catholic Church, and let's go visit the ruins of the Girardelli shop. All right, here we are. We arrived at the Girardelli Supply House, the famous chocolatier. This is where he had his shop, and he perfected his chocolates before he moved to San Francisco. Let's take a walk here and take a look at the ruins. Look at that, there isn't much left here. Supposedly it was 2 stories at one time. You can see how high it is. And then this is the first story. Of course, there's a lot of dirt here. That might have been the entrance right there to the first story. And there was a second story up there. You can see there was a ceiling. But it's basically a ruin right now. Let's take a look around the back. Oh, this is nice right here. You can see the brickwork. Pretty neat, the history here. Look at that. The old walls. It's pretty much, I wouldn't call this a ghost town. It's a living ghost town. There's people here who live here still. There's not much going on in Hornitos, but if you're ever in this area, drop on by. There is a saloon. You get some drinks and some food. Pay them a visit. There's some good people here. Just respect the sites. Don't do any damage. And no metal detecting. Anyhow, yeah, there isn't much to Hornitos. Like I said, this is it. It's a sleepy old town. This is Sunday afternoon. You don't even see anybody out. The saloon has a few cars over there. People getting some cold drinks. All right, let's move on to another site. Maybe hit some other areas. This is Main Street right here. Little picnic area right there, a little park, basketball courts. That's it. Street there and a street up there and a few other streets. There isn't a whole lot here. Oh, I forgot to show you a little monument right here at the Girardelli building. Let me show it to you. (1858) Girardelli Company operated this store, now owned by Girardelli Company Chocolate Cocoa since 1852. Pretty cool. Here we are at the site of the Mount Gaines mine, hard rock mine, a very famous mine. Millions of dollars worth of gold was taken out throughout late 1800s to about 1930. Extensive underground workings, a lot of drifts, many levels. Like I said, a lot of gold was taken out, and then when the World War II started out, all mining was prohibited and it shut down basically. The price of gold was so low that the effort put into it and labor, it just wasn't cost efficient. There was no profit in it. Of course, everything's changed today. But as you look at the surrounding area, this is a little road called Hornitos Road. It takes you into Hornitos where we were. But throughout these foothills, there was mining going on. There was life. Today, there's hardly anybody out here. Pretty much the story for many old towns that were discovered and died later after the gold rush of California. But you see the big tailing pile over there, and there's mounds right above there too. But it's all private property now. You cannot go there. A lot of these areas are ranch properties. There's cattle. So yeah, let's go check out some areas where they placer mined. See you soon. Here we are at some placer diggings in Hornitos mining district. You can see right over there, there's some rock over there, tailing piles. And wherever there's green, that's where the creek flow is. So you can imagine these hills from these hard rock mines, how much alluvial gold found its way down into the lower levels, into the creeks. And what I've read about Hornitos, this western belt of the Motherlode, It was very, very rich, very rich. Um, I was lucky enough to do a little metal detecting over here and found some nice gold. And one nugget you can see right here. It's about 50 grams. Nice gold quartz specimen. You can see yourself. I've known other detector prospectors who found much bigger than that. Also, not many people know, but there's black quartz here with gold in it. So yeah, black quartz with gold was found up in this district also. Anyhow, yeah, looks like we have a little friend down there. Look at that, a little cow. Looks like a bull. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out with me. Just a brief little history of Hornitos mining district, found by Mexican miners prior to the United States taking over this territory from Mexico. And very rich west belt of the Motherlode. Like I said, thanks for hanging out with me, and subscribe and like. And we're going to be heading out to Nugget Gully next few days and starting to keep continuing our process working. And hopefully we'll get some more gold over there. Have a good day and evening, regardless of where you're at. Bye.